Welcome to On the Chain. This is Chip, and I'm here today with special co-host, none other than Sean Thompson, better known as DJ Jazzy XRP. What's going on, Sean?
How's it going? How's everybody doing?
How you been, man? It's been a while since you were on the show. Shit, it's been a couple of years since the last time
Yeah, it's
you've
been
been
a
on.
couple years. I think I came on the show either right before or right after Rob Cash came on with you guys.
Damn, that
And
was a long time ago.
yeah, and we talked about, the state of crypto at the time, and we talked about bourbons afterwards. But it was a good time. I enjoyed it. But I wanted to come back on the show because a couple things have happened in the last couple of weeks, and me and you talked about it, and I said I need to get back on. It's something that was just kind of weighing on me, and a little more in the political realm, but it still has to do with what we're talking about with crypto, especially XRP, some of the altcoins,
All right.
state of regulations, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, well, everybody's coming in. Smithson's coming in from Motown tonight. He's all over. He's a world traveler. He's always somewhere, right? So I think he's
Okay,
always.
right on.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about, Brad Garlinghouse, turns out he was debanked. Can you believe this? He was debanked for being in crypto.
Yes, I heard about that, I believe.
Yeah, so it's like one of the top 4 banks too, which is really interesting if you think about that. But we're going to talk a little bit about that too. What's going on with the XRPL? Because seems like people are leaving it in droves. We got 2 more departures. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight. Trump is Hitler again. Like they wore that out in 2016. They wore that out throughout his presidency, and they got nothing else. They're shooting their load. John, it's all about Trump is Hitler yet again. He apparently reads books about Hitler or something like that. And so we'll talk about the election, which is very much heating up. We'll get into that and so much more. You ready to go? Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome to On the Chain, everybody. Go ahead and select the city that you are coming in from. Also the country if we don't recognize the city. And where you're coming in from. And that's all I can say for right now. What we'll do is we'll start it off with good day, lurkers. We got Australia in the house. The Aussies are in the house.
What's
Jim
up,
D
Australia?
never misses. Jim D's in the
Jim
house as
D.
well.
What's
Jim
up? I know Jim
D.
D. I've talked to him on the phone, I believe, a couple times.
Did you? I've never
Yeah,
talked
what's up,
to Jim
Jim?
D. We need to get Jim D on the show. He won't come on the show. We need to get him on the show. He's like a an OG here. So
Oh,
I have
yeah.
an XRPL token. Yeah, these XRPL tokens are wild. I was like, I was going to tell Jeff, like, just let's release a badass Yeti token. Like, people are just like spamming the hell out of the XRPL to tokens.
Yes.
It's like, oh, good. Let's turn it into ETH. In 2017. Remember all those stupid
Yes.
ERC 20 or they were ECR 20 or whatever coins. Like, it just got spammed, man. It was like insane, right? Abu Dhabi's in the house. Georgia's in the
Abu
house.
Dhabi.
What an amazing chess move with Mr.
Georgia.
Larson.
Who's in Georgia?
Q5. Johnny 10X.
Oh, nice. What up,
Johnny
Johnny?
10X, Aussie here. Yeah, we got the Aussies are in the house. That's our biggest audience outside the US, man. Might even be our biggest audience. Whatever happened with Larson? Nothing really happened with him. We'll get into a couple things. First thing I want to do is I want to start off playing this, Sean. I want to get your reaction to this.
Yeah.
But we had Garlinghouse was on an interview today, and now this is interesting because every 2 weeks the crypto bros come in and say, you know what? Harris is pivoting. Like there's no evidence whatsoever to think that she's going to be positive. I mean, you had the debates between Deaton and Warren, the fake Indian, and she doubled down on crypto there, man. Bro, like what do we think the Democrats are like going to get their fingers off of crypto? It doesn't seem that way at all, right?
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
It's insane. So let's watch this interview with Brad, and they posed the question to him, and let's see what he has to say here.
This plays out at the presidential level.
Chris Larson has given a lot of money to the Harris campaign. You had just told us a little bit ago that you are fiercely independent.
What that? He claims to be fiercely independent. How do you read that, Sean? Fiercely
I read that as
independent.
I read that as very interesting because I think and somebody in Brad Garlinghouse's position would have to play both sides of the coin in terms of politics. Give a little bit to one side, a little bit to the other. So it doesn't matter who wins. then he still wins. But Larson doing the $10 million, which is about $10 million XRP, which is about $5 million. I think that to me shows Chris leaning left. But the problem is with Chris is that when you lean left like that and you're supporting Choke Point 2.0, which has come directly after your company, I think that's an issue. I think somebody's missing the plot.
Oh yeah, he lost the plot a long time ago. But this is what happens when you're driven by ideology. It's also you'll bend anything you can. This is why we say that the lefty crypto people, which I'm shocked. I'm shocked you could be into decentralization and support the leftists, the Democrats, which are all about centralized control, right? The opposite of decentralization. So it's a kind of weird thing. So he's fiercely independent. Let's listen in with the rest of this.
And so when you think about the differences in the candidates and how they might approach crypto, what do you really know, particularly because the Harris campaign has been far more vague?
That's right.
Well, I think there's one thing I feel very confident about, and that is the Biden administration's approach to regulation of the crypto industry. That is coming to an end for sure. And
that is coming to an end because he's coming to an end, right? So he's got that. Let's take that one. We'll put that one a check mark in the right direction, right? We'll take that one. Okay, check right there.
I think no matter where this plays out at the presidential level, we'll have a more constructive engagement with this industry. It's a critical industry. It's an innovative technology, and I think the United States should be at the forefront and leading, as we did with the Internet of Information. I think we'll get there. As I said yesterday at the Philadelphia Federal Reserve, I think Gary Gensler's reign of terror on the crypto industry is going to come to an end very soon.
Brad, in your view, does it matter if Kamala Harris is president come January 20th or Donald Trump is president come January 20th? What's better for you? What's better for Ripple?
Well, I've taken a very neutral point of view. For the crypto industry, I think it's clear that the Republicans at a macro level have been more proactive in saying this is an industry that needs clear regulation. You have seen a Republican-led bill in the House pass with 71 or 72 Democrats crossing the aisle to support that in a very bipartisan way. So I think we have seen a more Republican-centric but I also think you've seen indications that the Harris campaign wants to reset some of the very flawed approaches that the Biden administration has had with the crypto industry and other parts of technology. So what I'm optimistic about is we're going to see a change. We're going to see a reset. And I think we need that at the federal level. The United States, there's no question, the United States is behind other leading countries like the UK, like Switzerland, like Singapore, like Japan, that are way ahead in providing constructive and clear regulation and rules of the road for this industry.
Okay.
What are your thoughts there?
So I knew when the question was posed to him, he wasn't going to answer it because he wants to be diplomatic and neutral because, like I said, whoever gets into the White House, he's going to have to try to work with whoever it is. But that reporter or journalist asked him specifically, who do you think is going to be better to make him pick a side? And we know he's not going to pick a side because, he's trying to be neutral and diplomatic. But I think and for Brad Garlinghouse, the way he actually thinks, what is feasible, what is efficient, he's probably thinking Trump. I mean, because Trump has already said as much. Trump has launched NFT projects. He's doing what's the thing, WLFA or something? No.
Yeah, he's got that DeFi.
Liberty Coin. Yeah. He's got a DeFi project. So he's submersed and ensconced in the industry, whereas Kamala Harris probably doesn't know much about it. And then Senator Warren just wants to shut it down with Gary Gensler as her minion to, take orders and make things happen.
Yeah, Plumbing says it's already changing. Regardless of who gets in office, it may be different flavor and how they flip or reset happens, but it's happening whether people like it or not. Yeah, to some degree, but I put one of the posts out there about Larson saying, okay, so is this before or after she fixes inflation? And is this before or after she seals the border? When is this actually going to happen? Okay, so just making light of like, you know, that got so many likes. I was shocked that like lots of laughs because it's like, okay, don't gaslight us. We pretty much know that jack shit's been done already, and we need to turn the page. Well,
yes,
I agree with that. And turning the page is not another 4 years of the same. It's Trump, right? It's not going to be the same. We're not going to be with the same. Patrick Gagnon says Larson talked to Harris, might know more than simpleton Trump freaks. Yeah, he might.
Maybe.
He might know more, but chances are his ideology prevents him from seeing, seeing clear. But I would put it this way: is that we also have Mark Cuban, who claims to be in the know. He's been gaslighting us, like, no, bro, she's really going to go pro. I'm like,
he's spoken to the campaign.
Yeah, well, great, but it's still not part of their platform.
Right.
There's not one word of crypto in their whole freaking platform. Like, it's not a part of their official platform. So, like, when do they plan to release this? Oh, I get it. After she fixes the border, after the inflation, after she kills fracking. Oh, I'm sorry, she's for fracking now. What am I thinking?
Yeah. Well, and to your point, Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, we want to champion them because they're driving the ship or steering the ship that is XRP and XRP Ledger. But Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse don't have the job of knowing foreign policy, economic policy,
yes.
Energy, how the prices of energy affect the broader economy. Whether you're a delivery guy for Amazon or you're a delivery guy for Uber or you're delivering pizza for your local pizza shop, energy prices affect everything. So they're not focused on that broad of a scale, which ends up being a global thing. Therefore, I can't count on Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse for everything. I got to count on, doing my own research, which is how I got into XRP in the first place.
Yeah, and also too, I would say with the RLUSD, their new stablecoin, to me, I suspect the reason, and they late to the game, and the reason they came out with it was because the banks didn't want the volatility. We knew back when MoneyGram,
Right.
when they were working with them a couple years ago, when they disclosed they lost a lot of money when they were transferring 10, 20, 30 million at a time because of the volatility of XRP, they lost a lot of money. So, I mean, Ripple was fueling it, like they were giving the money, but the bottom line is that banks, financial institutions mitigate risk. Their number one thing is mitigating risk. They can't worry about, even if it's translates in 5 seconds, but some dude waits to send it and it's like 3 minutes or 3 hours later, and the price is going like this. So a stable coin sounds to me this was born not out of necessity. It wasn't because they thought like, let's see, why don't we add another stable coin to the mix? To me, it sounds like, and guess what? The XRPL is agnostic, right? So you can transfer anything. It doesn't need XRP to go from the RLUSD to, let's say, fiat or to another digital token.
Anything that's tokenized can run on the XRPL. Another thing about RLUSD is the banks wanted a clawback feature.
That's right.
It's very important.
That's right. And also, yeah, right. They need a way to bring it back. And, the other thing too, is because Ripple is in the United States, they're also under any kind of sanction rules, right? So if they were based outside the US, they could tell the US that's to flip off, but they're actually under all of that, so there's always that bit of it too. I brought up Camel Toe's stint of calling Trump Hitler. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. She's trying to expedite an assassination or invoke a civil war if he's elected. Oh, he will be elected. There's no doubt about that. If it's fair, I just think it is too big to rig, And what I'm seeing is from every single demographic, right? Even women, okay, but you have Hispanics lost it on both sides, women and men. That is like way up. The black community, they're saying it's black men. What I'm seeing, like, it's the black community, period, man. I don't know what your take is on it, but I'm seeing
that's one of the things I want to talk to you about tonight is that when I called you a few days ago, I had been going through YouTube and Twitter and just at home chilling, eating dinner, and I'm just coming up with video after video. And what I purposely did is try to change my search results to get out of my personal algorithm for that is set up for me based on what I watched to try to see what I could see. And it's literally everywhere. I mean, there's one guy I watched out of Detroit. Um, Never heard of him before till this week. Another guy I watched out of New York. And then when Trump went to the barbershop in the Bronx and talked to some of those guys, largely a Puerto Rican audience, but still similar. And then when you see some of the things I've seen based locally in the Georgia area, in Atlanta, there are people that are really, really not happy. And I was shocked that many people were willing to go on camera and talk about it. That's what was getting me.
That's interesting.
Yeah, no.
Like, in other words, you're saying because they were so public, they weren't worried about it being public or like going viral. They had zero F's about that. Nothing.
No. And I mean, people in Oakland, California. There was people in Louisiana, Alabama. I mean, I tried to broaden my search to make sure I could get a, kind of a cross section of what the sentiment was. And you even have gangsters in Chicago. They call it the South Side.
I got the video from Chicago where the YouTuber went into like a convenience store, and he put a hidden camera, and he was asking and he was pretending like he was a Harris dude. I got it right here. Let's listen in.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Harris does backwards, bro. What? Harris. Man, we not voting for that, man. We voted for Trump, man. Why? Man, we not with none of that, man. Chuck be looking out for the black community, man. We ain't doing nothing, man. I respect. You all good, my boy. All right, man. Yeah. And who you voting for, Trump or Kamala? Man, Trump. We ain't with that Indian ass, man. Who, Kamala? Yeah, we ain't. Why you don't with her? Because she with them immigrants. I'm black. Them Venezuelans taking all our bread. They out here creating gangs. They ass gang banging, breaking in bandit cribs, all type of good shit. We ain't with it. So you don't like an open border? Nope. We need that border. Hey, what are your thoughts on when Trump got shot? Man, hey, don't try to take my boy out. Make America great again. Hell yeah. Make America great again. Hey, Trump or Kamala? Shit, Trump, be honest. Damn, so why Trump though? Why Trump? Because shit, we used to get paid and shit like he used to keep immigrants out, so we was able for us to get jobs. It's hard.
We were told that no, the immigrants don't take the job. And Sean, they do jobs that nobody wants to do, and apparently that they, the immigrants, they're not really working. They're not allowed to work here.
No.
Right?
Well, look, I've noticed this in my own travels where I live, and as with the business I have and when I work, I travel from the northwest side of the city and broader parts of the city, northwest, all the way to the northeast, all the way down south. And I have noticed personally that certain jobs that I would normally get or accounts I'm not getting anymore. And I can see who's working those accounts. So no, I've actually seen it. And I'm coming from a same place of, okay, I didn't get that one account at that one dealership. I'll just move on to the next one and try to get that one and keep working, keep plugging away, whatever. But when actual gangsters and people doing illegal things, and not all of them, I'm just being, very, very specific to a specific group of people. When they are pissed off, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
It's a big problem, and it's like, but this is my feed is like just full of just, and I see it, everybody just like, I don't care, and the funny thing is like, for some reason there seems to be an enormous amount of like 20-something, young girls going off, super educated too, by the way, they're just going off. Like they know what's going on. Like they've been paying attention. They've been doing the research, and they're trying to paint the women as like, no, women are all in for Kamala. And I'm like, I'm seeing women that are just like taking it even more than the men. They know what's up. Like they know how to read. They're waking up.
Hard for us to get jobs now, shit, because immigrants taking over. So you're not with the Venezuelans? I ain't fucking with them. I ain't gonna lie, they taking our jobs and some more shit. They do it better than us though, but they taking our man. I heard they're taking over the buildings. Is that true? Hell yeah, boy. Who would you vote for?
Wow.
I'm not gonna vote for neither one of them, but like I said first time, if it's a choice, I go with Trump. She ain't no good. I'm put it like that. So whoever wanna believe and go with her, check her history. Y'all turn around then.
I mean, but we can make history.
Man, we could, but it's not gonna be history, bro. That's gonna start World War III soon as she get in. And y'all know that y'all self. Y'all trying to act like y'all don't know. It's gonna be World War III when she get in. Best believe that, man.
Trump?
Can you pause that?
Come on.
The interesting thing about what he said is he said, I'm not voting for either one of them. But he stated that if she gets in, it's going to start World War III. So why would you vote for him? That's a very interesting take.
He's voting for one of them, but he's pretty pro-Trump, and also he also knows about World War III, like where is on the brink. You know what I mean? Like that's like the reality. So that is an interesting take when you say like I'm not going to vote for either one of them. Then he comes out pro-Trump, but if I had to, it's all about Trump.
Right.
This is funny when he goes, "Come on, bro." He's like trying to tell him, "Come on, bro."
Kamala till it's backwards, bro.
Man, what you Kamala, we voting for Trump, bro. What are you talking about? You know damn well we don't Kamala. Trump, you and Kamala.
Come on, bro. I can't even have my opinion. Damn, bro.
Bro, you voting for you, so you with that all them Venezuelans? You with all that goofy?
Yeah.
Nah, ain't no yeah. That's why I shit f***ed up because of you.
Damn, bro. I can't even have my opinion on something.
No, not her.
Yeah.
Not her. She bad for the community in the world.
Yeah.
Vote for Trump, gang.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Trump or Harris?
Trump.
Yeah.
Trump.
Oh, Trump?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I shouldn't even let you shop here.
What you mean?
Trump, bro?
Yeah.
Man, come on, bro. You know it's Harris all the way.
You said who?
It's Harris.
Who the fuck that? Fuck that. Harris, boy.
Come on, Kamala.
Man, Kamala on, bro.
Yeah?
Shorty finna bring all the fags out. What you mean?
Come on, bro. What you doing?
Boy, Kamala, boy.
This is funny, some stuff. But
that is ridiculous. I did see this one earlier.
It's Chicago, though. That's what killed me, man. I was like, "This is Chicago." They,
and you know, in the community, they call Chicago the South Side Safari, aka Chirac, because all the people that get shot every weekend because of the violence, and we know that Chicago has some of the toughest gun laws in the country, like literally the toughest.
Yeah, the people that are law can't get them, but the people, the bad guys are always going to have it. That's the whole thing. Norseman, coming in strong. Appreciate that. Epic, Sean and Chip, show the support, the thumbs up. You jabronis. This is Norseman.
Oh, Norseman. What up, Norseman? Yeah. What up? Yeah, I texted our little group chat last night, and he's in it.
Thumbs up, you jabonis. Peep Hachi coin out. I don't even know Hachi coin. I know Cobb has a coin. I saw Cobb was shilling some coin over there on the XRPL. This is pretty funny. Thank you for that, Norseman. Appreciate that. BMAC, at least with Trump, we have a chance with peace deals. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, well, the last time I checked, Hitler was raging war across of Europe. And last time I checked,
all of Europe.
We had the peace accords, right? We had the Abraham peace accords with people please. We had no wars, no conflicts, and we were getting ready to come out of Afghanistan without abandoning it and leaving all of our stuff there, right? So I'm like, it's not even good propaganda. It's just not even believable at this point. That's what.
Can I make a comment about what you just said about Afghanistan? This is the thing that's blown my mind. And my dad was in the military, so I was a military brat, and so I understand some of the logistics of certain things. But how do you, number one, if you're going to leave a country that you've been basically, fighting a war for so many years, like what, 20 years? Get all your people out, then the military leaves out first, or last. And the thing that really kills me is that, as you know me, and so a lot of people on here, that I'm a big fan of general aviation. If you're going to leave helicopters, airplanes, fighters, whatever, you could have let me know, and I would have paid money to have it shipped over to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And if you're gonna just give it away, hell, I can get a little Cessna with some military stripes on it. You could have given it to me, and then all the rifles and night vision goggles and all that stuff. I'm like, some general convinced somebody that it was cheaper to leave all that crap over there than to bring it home. I don't get that.
I think it happened like that. I think they just didn't think it through. They got caught. It was. But
this is a process that's been done before.
Well, maybe so, but I don't. I just you got when you somebody's calling the shots. I mean, you got 13 people died because the rules of engagement were you couldn't shoot. I mean,
Right.
this is so when you change up the rules of engagement, you hamstring your. What else are you doing? You're hamstringing them because it's you can't blame the military. The military's taking directives from crappy, as Trump calls them, the TV generals. Like
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not blaming the military. I'm blaming the
I know you're
person that
not.
directed them to leave it.
Oh, I know you're not. I'm just saying that it's a shame because the military's, they're just hamstrung. They're not there to make those choices. And unfortunately they look stupid, right? I mean, especially if 13 people die. And then you got like Harris saying, well, nobody died in conflict. You're like, what?
Huh?
Like,
that was a conflict.
Incredible. Look at this right here. This story is incredible. Citibank debanked Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse due to crypto. So essentially,
Oh, it was Citibank. Okay.
Citibank, man. I mean, so imagine like you got all your funds there and you get debanked, right? I mean, this happens to conservatives all the time, right? This is nothing new. Individuals within the crypto industry are being debanked. He said at DC FinTech Week, I personally have been debanked. He goes on to say that he tied his own experience to the wider trend in the U.S. Industry that struggled to maintain banking ties as regulators cautioned institutions to limit their crypto investment. Like, who the hell are you to tell somebody this is the whole thing? And now, what do you think this is coming from? Who's like in power right now? Biden, Harris, right? Who and putting all the pressure and making banks feel like they're gonna like be destroyed. He said he later said in an interview with CoinDesk that the institution that cut him off recently was Citigroup, which he'd been a customer for about 25 years. He said it's not the only personal bank. He's lost more. He's saying it's not the only one he lost because of his own crypto. They said you have 5 days to move your money. Then their app. So they were really super honest. They're like, look, you're a notable person in crypto. Having notable people in crypto and banking in the crypto industry means more scrutiny from federal regulators.
Yeah. You know who orchestrated that? I bet you, as what's his name would say, I would bet you dimes to donuts that was from Senator Warren.
Dimes to donuts. That would be the digital asset investor, which blocked me like a little wussy. Like a little
No, he gets it from the guy from Mike Novogratz. He stole that phrase from Mike Novogratz. Yeah,
but he's the one that always says it though. But him and Kimes blocked me for some reason. I was on the path with both of them. Never said anything to these guys. That apparently didn't like what I was putting out there. They didn't like when I was saying don't rely on Ripple. Ripple's not going to save the XRPL, and you can see that they're pretty much the truth. I mean, they didn't support it. They claimed they were going to give all this money to, in grants. They didn't do it. They've only given out less than 10% of what they promised to do. And I said, it's about builders. If people don't build on the XRPL, it's going to die. It'd be a dead chain. It is a dying chain. People are leaving in droves. There's all kinds of people that are leaving. The most popular NFT series in history, the X-Punks left the chain, right? And a lot of other ones left the chain because, it's pretty much a dead chain. So he said the CEO was highly critical of President Joe Biden's administration in Washington, saying the Securities and Exchange Commission chair, Gary Gensler, had led a reign of terror and accusing the U.S. Treasury Department and banking regulator office of the comptroller of the currency of being hostile to the industry. All true, by the way. He said that whichever the U.S. president elections go next month, the future for crypto policy will be better. Yeah, so like, can you imagine Warren like flipping, like no longer being on her anti-crypto army approach? I just don't see it myself. People that are for censorship and centralized control and want to control everything and want to attack free speech, it's diametrically opposed to decentralization. You can't have someone who believes in control, but let's allow people to have decentralized assets over here. Sean, does that make any sense? What am I going wrong?
I couldn't tell you.
Nowhere,
except for the obvious.
It's wild. I mean, like the whole thing is absolutely. To me, it's just insanely wild. I got some more videos here to pump up. So this is the other thing. So every 4 years now, ever since 2016 happened, every 4 years Obama he leaves his palatial estate either in Hawaii or in Nantucket, which are built like literally inches from the water. but we're supposed to believe
Right.
climate change.
Climate change.
And the rising tides. You built it right on the freaking water where the supposed tides are rising, right? Did you ever see a picture of Plymouth Rock, like where they landed in Plymouth Rock? Since 1600, it's the same water level, dude. It's the same freaking
Probably
water.
when I was a kid. Yeah, I'm sure.
There's a picture of Plymouth Rock. Yeah, Plymouth Rock is the same damn water level, right? But listen, so now Obama came out again. Listen to here's Obama who's on one of these podcasts.
Used to say, so let me get this straight. You're not going to vote, which means you're going to let a bunch of old people decide your future. You wouldn't do that about your.
Imagine you're going to let a bunch of old people. Listen, Brock's starting to make some sense here. Dude, this sounds like a good idea. I like the idea of letting older people make a choice for you because maybe you're not
the music. You wouldn't do that about your clothes, but you're going to let them decide what your future, your potential careers, what the environment's going to look like. You're going to let them decide that, and you're just going to opt out. That doesn't make any sense. And that, I think, is the main message that I have for folks. It's not that hard to vote. And, people vote for All-Star Weekend. People vote on everything. They're voting on American Idol. You can vote to decide who's going to represent you in our country.
For sure. What do you think about that?
But he's the old guy trying to get you to vote for Democrats. Really, dude?
Dude, he is the old guy. He's the one telling you want old guys, and he's the old guy that's telling.
He's got more gray hair than me.
Damn. Yeah, this is funny. Yeah, he's the old dude that's trying to explain to you how you're supposed to vote, right? Okay.
There's this guy. He was in Atlanta. Recently passed away about a year ago. His name was Kevin Samuels, and he used to do videos about basically relationships, primarily within the Black community. And he would talk to certain women, ask questions, and they would basically tell him themselves for being as toxic as they are. And he would turn around and be like, "Oh my God, you can't make this shit up." That was his tagline, and that's exactly what I just saw with that clip you just played. You can't make it up.
You can't make it up. And he didn't know where to go after that too. That was the funny thing is like Obama's usually pretty good with like,
yes,
but he was like, because American Idol, like All-Star Weekend, like I was like, dude, just leave it at that, right? I mean, he's falling down the cliff.
That's because there's nothing left. I mean, the fact that one candidate has to take the day off with 12, 13 days left, and you're supposed to be going, full speed ahead for the last 12, 13 days to get to the finish line. And she takes the day off, but he's doing a rally. Make that make sense.
Look at this. Elon Zron says, did you hear that Larson donated 2.3 million XRP to Pocahontas? No, he did not. He voted the maximum amount, 6,600, 3,300 for the primary and 3,300 for the general, as did Garlinghouse. They both voted there. So let's not get crazy. I'm anticipating the Israelis. I don't know what that means. Chip focuses too much and trying not to sound like a conspiracy theorist. Dude, I am a conspiracy theorist. I'm not trying to sound like I'm not one. I mean, when have I ever tried to sound like I'm not one? Jeff will tell you all day long that I'm a conspiracy theorist. He won't.
And the beautiful thing about it is that 30, 40 years ago, conspiracy theorist was a theorist. And then about 40 years later, you would find out that they were right. Nowadays, a conspiracy theory lasts for about 3 months, and then you find out it's true.
Right. That's a good point. And so, like, where's the conspiracy? You're right. It took a long time back in the day to sort of like for it to come out, but now it's pretty fast.
Oh, yeah.
Freestone says, love from Australia. The world's watching. John Dean, a perfect balance for centrists and Trump to save America. We're praying for you. The rest of the world is watching you. Love, gents. Love that, man. Yeah.
We're trying to do what we can.
What I love is... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say real quick, we're doing what we can. And by the way, in my state of Georgia, Trump is doing a rally with Turning Point USA in Duluth, and they had a huge turnout.
Yeah,
huge turnout.
It was massive, and I'm not buying GDLT, other OG in the house. What up,
G? What up, G?
She's in the house. Just giving you a tough time, Chip. You know the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth. Yep, a couple of months. Yep, that's okay. I'm never hiding from it, right? Sometimes even Jeff's like, I don't know. It's just even Jeff's like the voice of reason. I'm like, I'm telling you, Jeff. I'm telling you. You know, I'm like the crazy one, and of course, turns out to be true. But yeah, he's been down that rabbit hole too. Alex Yeet stumbling in here.
What up, Alex? Wow, OG.
It's amazing. It's OG night here. Nice. I actually have, so this is the last one I want to play. This one I love because MSNBC goes out and starts asking people who they're going to vote for. And this is Alex Wagner, and she is a lefty loony nut job, right? She's kookity cuckoos up there. And I'm amazed that she keeps such a straight face. I'll be honest with you. I was shocked because inside she's probably like super uncomfortable, right? But look at this.
Feelings, right. And let me start with the women here about Kamala Harris.
She's a woman of color. I'm not putting her down because of that, and I'm not putting her down because she's a woman. I'm not a feminist, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this. I don't want to be scared because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
We brought up gender, right? Like, do you think it matters that she's a woman and people aren't comfortable having a woman in a top?
Now look at the way she's playing this one.
I know.
You know what I mean, Sean? It's because, Is it because it's a woman? I love the answers though.
Leadership role?
No, I don't think that, because most men, they love their mothers. They love their wives. So as a woman, most men, they respect the woman, but she just don't have the qualification or the education to really run America because she don't have the experience. She don't understand our struggles. And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy. Right. Like, you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
So the fact that she's the vice president
That's
to
just
you
the
is
bottom line.
You're like, you've been here.
Look at Alex Wagner's like, oh, well, she's the VP. You know, the VPs don't really do anything. Meanwhile, you remember on The View, she went on The View and they posed the question, hey, would you do different? She's like,
nope. Nothing comes to mind.
Dude, and then she went on Colbert the same night and he gave her another chance. Like, what? Is there anything else? And she doubled down on, I would do nothing. And so all of this gaslighting you've been doing about like, hey, I was the VP and I'm going to be different and we're going to be cool about crypto is all a bunch of bullshit, right? Sure.
So Chip, I was going to say this one thing based on what you just said. When she went on The View and she was asked a question if there's anything she would do differently, that would have been from a political, strategic position, the perfect time to say, yes, I would do X, Y, and Z to give a little distance between herself and Biden. And that would have scored, in my opinion, after watching and listening to politics for the last 20, almost 30 years, that would have been the perfect time to do it. And it has scored her a couple of points. Right. And she didn't do that. Right. And then she blew it a second time.
Right. And I don't know if she just got stumped by the question, but she could have said, you know, listen, after looking at crypto and hearing from my constituency, yeah, we have to do a reset. Like, we can't continue status quo. It's innovation, you know. And even the words she did talk about it were so loose that she danced around it. It was like so wishy-washy. Yeah. Just say like, all she had to do was say like, and today choke point 2.0 ends. And guess what else? I am requesting Gary's resignation right now. I want him to resign.
From a political.
Nothing.
Go ahead.
Nothing.
No, I was going to say from a political standpoint, she's not very skilled at all. And I'll say it this way. I was listening to a radio show earlier this week, and one point was brought up that I had never considered before, is that the conservative movement or conservative people or Republicans or however you want to frame it, they know their arguments. But because they've studied long enough, they know the opposing side's arguments. The Democrat side knows their arguments, but they've never even bothered to check in to see what our arguments are. So the debate literally falls apart, which is why they don't want to have the debate about any subject.
That is such a great observation. You are so right. Time and time again, we see that because they never venture out of their little bubble. And they only know talking points. They don't even about, like when Trump said, find people on both sides. Dude, all you had to do is watch the video. You can just Google it. You can find it in 3 seconds and watch it. I mean, good that some people, but to sit and be gaslight for how many years on this? It's ridiculous.
Yes, sir.
You're like, you've been here, you've had a chance.
Yes. Well, for me, the very first time I ever heard the name Kamala Harris, it was in association to locking up parents for a truancy. That was the first time I ever heard.
Dude, you talk about research like this. You have to be in the know. She was, and especially if you've seen the video of just the one mom that was locked up. They put her away. I mean, this.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, and she's talking about the first time that she made the association. This is like you're talking about like people that know what they're talking about. They're smart. They've done some research. This isn't like, oh, I don't know. Why like because this or that. No, this is deep issue related, man. This is what I like about this.
Her name. And I really didn't understand how this person claims to be a black woman, but yet she's locking up black women and black men and separating families.
This is the thing that is, Trump talks about this a lot. He says, Kamala Harris became black when it was convenient.
Right. Yeah.
Can you talk to me about, do you agree with him on that? Do you feel like she's wearing her blackness?
Absolutely. She's sworn into when she sworn to the Senate, it was as the first Indian American.
Thank you.
Which is, it's fine. We don't care.
We all know she's not black. Let's understand that. We are all clear of that. But my point of view, and like I told you earlier, she's already been there. She's in office right now.
Wait a minute. This is MSNBC. They aired this?
Dude, they aired this. This is crazy, right? And this is Alex Wagner. I am shocked that because Alex Wagner, man, I don't know if you've ever seen her on MSNBC, but she's something else. This is why I was so shocked when she was keeping a straight face, because like there was not one person. Like you could, like, after a while, if you spend enough time, you'll find one person that's voting for it. Nobody in this site.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, okay, so as you're playing the video and I'm watching and we got the camera set up, I just happened to look down and I see that it says MSNBC. The whole time I didn't realize where this feed was coming from.
I said
this clip was coming from.
MSNBC Alex Wagner. She's a nut job at MSNBC.
Yeah. No, I know you said it, but what I'm saying is I got involved with the video clips and then the commentary.
You didn't notice that it was on there the whole. Yeah, it was in there.
I just totally forgot that this was MSNBC. That's insane.
It's crazy.
Or maybe it's the beer.
One beer ain't gonna do it unless that's the 7th beer. Then that's a whole different story, man. That's a whole different story.
Anyway, that's insane.
Yeah, I was just shocked by the whole thing. Okay, watch this. Watch this interview. So this is one interview with Kamala Harris. I only watched the beginning of this. I haven't seen the whole thing. Hopefully,
we're talking about border security.
Check out what's at the bottom of that. That's Telemundo. They're playing the clip.
I didn't see this whole clip. Yeah.
I didn't see it either. This is Telemundo, dude, right? Doing an interview.
Yeah.
By the way, it's Spanish language television in the United States, if you guys don't know.
Yeah.
Out of Miami here. And it's the biggest, it's the most popular one. There's Unidos, there's another one or whatever they have, but Telemundo is like the most well-known. But look at this. Watch this, dude.
Now we're talking about border security, and there's no Democrat talking about pathway to citizenship, and immigration relief, and the benefits that migrants bring to this country.
Oh, but there's no question that migrants bring. America is a country that it was built in part by immigrants.
But people are concerned
who have
about their TPS, their DACA, we're talking about mass deportations.
I'm not talking about.
What do you stand on mass deportations? What's your stand there?
We need smart, humane immigration policy in America that includes a pathway to citizenship.
It was the train wreck, the whole thing, this whole interview, man. I don't know what she's talking about. My God,
that was a very simple question to answer. She could have done it very short and succinctly. But to talk about we need smart, humane immigration, you know, the thing that really burns me up about that, and this goes back to what I talked to you on the phone about, you know, some of the things that were pissing me off about some of the black community was saying, how they didn't like Kamala, is that I saw this one video and these guys that were on the border, blah, blah, blah. And they were just doing cleanup, just cleaning up the trash. And to say they found little people's, because I don't even want to get into it, little people's underwear soaked in blood.
What?
Yeah, like little kids.
Oh, God.
And that like turned my stomach. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So when she says we need humane immigration, she's not doing it, clearly.
No, not at all.
And that pisses me off.
Yeah, and you had all the kids, and I had posted something today, and I said with that guy Lionel, and I'm like, just watch this. This is a guy that talked about, you know, a movie. He was the #1 filmmaker and talking about child trafficking, and because Trump played it at Mar-a-Lago, and it became the #1 most independent film, and it's never happened, gone to #1. And a Mexican, I should probably find that clip, but it's really good. And he talked about it, and he's just like, look, it was Trump that opened that up and publicized it, and everybody wanted to see it after that, and that's how it became #1. So it was a matter of that, but before that it wasn't. So I saw somebody was making fun of this video. I just grabbed the video, and they were like, "Is she, you know, what's she on? Is she coked up? Like, what's going on with her?" But
no
behavior.
Look, I'm not going to speak to anything to that, but clearly something's not. The math isn't mathing. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Something's up. I don't know if she's like tipped the bottle back or what, but look at this.
It's like, Mommy, you know, the thing about this. I always wanted to go to Howard, and I went to Howard. And actually, it was in February of 2004. Olives with cream cheese on dark rye. And so it's remember, I'm a prosecutor. I have focused on that. I mean, in a nutshell. And it was the assessor at the time. Can you perform some marriages? We need more people. And every like nook and cranny of City Hall. Yes. Important is that we also appreciate the nuance. You know, there's a lot to do. There's a lot more to do. Who's over the age of 18 as though they're an adult. You know, because it was doubling it, right? Right, where poor people sit in jail and people who have money get out, that there is no difference between any of the kids, our kids, and those kids who are otherwise in the system. So, for example, not to sell you a bag of you know what, but it was difficult to do. It was.
By the way, the new rumor is that the bag of cocaine found at the White House.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait a minute. Where did you get this clip? I've never seen this one.
I saw this one today, so I don't know where it's from. It could be.
Okay.
This could be 10 years old. I don't know, but she's erratic. I mean, whatever she's talking.
No.
And let's face it, they're cherry pick things. I mean, we're not seeing the whole thing in context. So
yes.
You criticize us for like we're just taking the worst bits, which these probably are. But it is.
No, I get that. But the thing that cracked me up is from the very beginning, as soon as you started it, to me, I thought it was an SNL skit. That's how bad she's acting.
Yeah, well, she's all over the place. And there's like a lot of nose touching. I was like, what's with all that?
Yeah.
In large part, I've got big signs, Dreamers Welcome Here. I've got the rainbow flag. And they were like, why are you putting the rainbow flag? I had to get permission, but I got it. Whatever. So, you know, hey, Rand, how you people doing with it? Good? You know? I've taught him how to chop the onions.
I don't know what she's talking about, dude. I can't watch this whole
thing.
We're only halfway through this. This is a mess, dude. This is a mess.
We're only halfway through it? Okay, so here's the funny part.
It was about...
No, what I was going to say is, you see I have a mustache goatee, right?
Yeah.
Every now and again, one mustache hair will curl up into my nose, and it'll itch, and I'll do this, right? And then I have allergies as well, so I'm always going like this, whatever. But for her to do the gentle brush, that's a habit. Why would anybody have that habit? Because being a female, you would expect her to not have a bunch of inside the nose hairs, biologically speaking. It just wouldn't be a thing for the most part. So you tell me why she does that.
She fell out of a coconut tree. Cocamala. She fell
That's
out of
right. She did fall on a coconut tree.
She fell on a coconut tree. They got Oscar in the house. The hyena. Yeah, she's a hyena.
What's up, Oscar? The good thing about this election is that you don't have to go and bash one candidate to elevate your candidate. You just have to say that your candidate is going to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
No tax on tips. No tax on Social Security. No tax on what was the third one? I keep forgetting the third one.
Oh, there's a child credit too. There's like a $5,000 child credit.
There's a whole bunch of stuff, and then tax deductibility on purchasing a car.
Yeah, also
energy costs.
You're not going to get paid. You're not going to pay. Because no one wants to do overtime. You get crushed with taxes. So no.
Yeah, no tax on overtime. Yeah. So I'm saying that there's things to look forward to by having one candidate as opposed to just bashing the other one.
Well, every time she opens her mouth, I just feel like Trump goes up in the polls, right? So look at Oscar saying she either has a beard or she's doing cocaine. This is what she said.
Stop.
That's it right there, Mike. That's freaking funny, man. Kamala is a plant. She is. It's like, hair lip. There you go. Hair lip.
Dude.
She has a hair lip. There you go. Now watch this lady. This is a lady. This was caught on someone's camera. The lady is like insane, like comes up to her neighbor's house because she's voting for Trump. Look at this exchange.
I want to know how you can vote.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Shameful. Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people? No, I haven't walked by recently. Okay, because a lot of people walk by and scream. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that? No. Why are you voting for him? Because I believe he is the moral candidate. Oh my God. F you for that one. That's moral? Exactly right. That's how your side acts. Oh my God. That's he's the most immoral person around. In your opinion, that's okay. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Have a nice day.
She gonna grab the sign too?
God bless you.
Jeez, dude.
I mean, you imagine who has the balls to go up to someone's house and start berating them for who they're voting for and tell them, and she says, I'm voting for the moral thing, and she just curses her as she's walking away. Look,
right.
It's the violent, angry left. They're so angry. I mean, they're like angry. They're out of their minds. I don't understand it myself, but
what do you call that? What do you call that? An oxymoron? Diametrically opposed? How are you going to go and tell somebody they're voting for the devil, and then when you say, well, yeah, then they start cussing you out and they start acting like the devil.
It's insane, man. It's an insane thing, man. Holy cow. Look at this. Here we go.
The story the country tells itself about reality has flipped. None of the normal people are supporting the Democratic machine. Tim Walz is supporting the Democratic machine. A man you would never allow to babysit your own children. That's the archetype. It's the party of weirdos, of envy, of hate, of resentment, of bitterness, of weakness, of a total lack of creativity. It's a party of conformity. It's a party of the machine, where it doesn't matter who the candidate is because individuals are immaterial. All that matters is the collective. That's the Soviet model.
Yep.
And opposing them is the rest of the country. Slowly waking up to the fact that these people have no moral authority whatsoever. They have no legitimacy in a democracy where the government must rule by the consent of the governed. They have no consent. And the way that they've treated this country over the past 4 years is the most shocking thing I've ever seen in 55 years. To allow millions of people, mostly young men with no skills and no English, into our country illegally, and then fly them around at our expense and give them phones and put them on welfare programs that no American citizen can get. It is the most insulting, yeah, boo, but it's worse than boo. That's the biggest crime in the history of the United States of America. And it takes incredible stones, incredible gall for the people who did that to stand up there on a stage and give you a lecture about how you're immoral.
We just heard
it. Too much.
You just saw
and
that.
So that's the second important thing about this election. okay? The first is every person in this room needs to understand you are not in a despised minority. You are in an incredibly gentle and tolerant majority who put up with this crap for way too long.
Yep.
As they insulted not only you, but the memory of your ancestors who died for this country. They tore down statues to their memory. People have never built anything in their lives. They went out of their way to humiliate you and spit on you and the graves of your ancestors. And that's not an exaggeration, they did that. And this country is so nice, it's so polite, it's so thoughtful and empathetic and sweet. It's the kind of country that loves dogs and gives directions to strangers, that we put up with it for 4 years. But we can't anymore.
That's because Daddy's home. He's pissed.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, I saw that early before we came on.
That's good though, right? I mean, it's a pretty solid, man.
No, and did you notice something? No teleprompter.
Oh yeah, just right off the cuff. No teleprompter.
Yeah.
No problem. I wanted to play just a little bit of this because this is like her trying to. This is Kamala trying to be serious.
Let's listen. So yesterday we learned that Donald Trump's former chief of staff, John Kelly, a retired four-star general, confirmed that while Donald Trump was president, he said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had. Donald Trump said that because he does not want a military that is loyal to the United States Constitution. He wants a military that is loyal to him.
How do you tell us you lost? You know you're going to lose without telling us you know you're going to lose. Trump's Hitler. That's how it starts, right? No record to run on. No. Dude, here's the funny part. Here's the part that kills me. She's been VP for almost 4 years, right? Shy of 4 years. Before that, she was a U.S. senator. And what does she go back to? Her VP achievements? No. Her senator achievements? No. Her days as a prosecutor locking up people for weed. That's what she goes back to. Locking people up because their kids were, party. I mean, truant, right? I mean, this is what she goes back to. And then people start examining the record, which they don't find her locking real criminals up, but just stupid like parents up.
And the hypocritical part about it is if you're locking up people for weed and giving them these long prison sentence or jail time for nonviolent criminal substance problems, but then you admit that you're smoking weed yourself. Come on, man. Come on, son.
Yeah, it's good for don't do as I do as I say, right? That sort of thing. It's like
I know, but I just think that's you. If that was what you're okay. So for Clinton to say he was governor and said, "Yeah, I smoked, but I didn't inhale." Okay, that's great. That works. But to say that you are putting people in jail for it, but then you're still smoking it, come on, that's not gonna fly. Who's gonna buy that? Who's gonna agree with that? Who's gonna say, "Yeah, well, you got me because it is the law"? She broke the law. You broke the law. But only you get to go to jail. She doesn't.
Right.
Two-tier justice system. Two-tier.
Standards, man. Jim D says the party of tampon machines and male tourists. That's why you got tampon Tim for nothing. If you think to let up, always remember the Borg will stand Tech 16. Oh, Star Trek reference there. Pearl necklace, pearl earrings. Even Lisa had a purple plant suit on with the pearls. Ooh, Grimace, Squid Games. Tucker rocks. We love that. Like Diddy, who operated the whole time. She was Attorney General. Solid point. There you go. Boom. So I'm going to play one more as we get out of here because, my God, I can't believe it's been an hour already, but I want to play this Trump ad today. Let's watch this. I want to get your reaction after this.
Donald Trump has always loved this country.
I would love and I would dedicate my life to this country. This country with the proper leadership can go on to become what it once was.
He's always put us first.
I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. That's why it bothers me so much that when we give this kind of money to the wealthiest countries in the world, and yet for our own people, the homeless, the sick, the poor, the farmers, who are really going through hell right now, those people we're not helping.
Donald Trump has always been there for America.
Somebody has to help this country. If it were me, that'd be fine. I could do it.
How would you like to be remembered?
Well, as somebody that's contributed something to the United States.
Donald Trump has always fought for America. and he always will.
Perfect. I've got the perfect response for you.
Let's hear it.
When that commercial started, it was going back to 1988, 84, 80. I remember those interviews because I knew who Donald Trump was when I was 10, 12 years old.
Yeah.
And so this whole thing about he's a racist, I knew he wasn't even way back then.
All right.
And actually, and when I was 10 and 12 years old, I didn't know what a racist was because I'd never experienced it personally. Not until I was like 15, 16 when I was in high school. So I remember the interview that was done with Barbara Walters. I remember the interview that was done with Oprah Winfrey. And I remember another interview he did where somebody asked him if he would run for president. He said, if I do, I'm going to ask Oprah Winfrey, believe it or not, to be my vice.
I remember
that really happened.
Yeah.
So when I see this, yeah, exactly. So when I see this commercial, well, you know, Oprah might be friends with Diddy. I'm just saying. So all I'm saying is that when I see this commercial, it goes back to his whole history from the, you know, for what is that, 40 years?
Yeah.
44 years?
40 some years, yeah, man.
Yeah. So
years.
when I was in college at the university I went to, there was a shuttle that would run from DC to New York, and it was called the Trump Shuttle. And I used to be jealous because some of my my friends could fly home for $30. If I was going to fly home, it was going to cost me almost $200 to get back to Georgia.
Damn.
For $30, they could get back and forth. It was literally like a cab ride.
Wow.
And the planes weren't that big, but the planes. I mean, Trump was actually running it to where the planes would run like literally every 2 hours. So there was like 5 trips back and forth. So I knew what he was doing back then, and you can't tell me that it was only rich white people that were getting on those planes. So I knew who he was from the late 80s. And so all these emotions come up when I watch that commercial because there's something that I know that when I try to speak on it, a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, you've only thought he was a racist when he came down the escalator. You didn't see him with Celebrity Apprentice that I used to watch every week. And then before that was Regular Apprentice. And you didn't hear about the stories of him helping people out just randomly just because he could do it. So that's my
right. It wasn't until people. That's really. I mean, that got me in the feels, right? And I think, you know, Mike said, "Damn, that was good." Chad said, "Damn," and then we had Oscar said, "Those French horns sold it with the messaging. Love it. Yeah, those horns. I started getting in the feels.
Yeah.
I started feeling that, man." Jackie says,
"No, I did too."
At least Trump and Tulsi came out and walked the ground here, and WNC. Biden flew over. Yeah, the world. Yeah, that's interesting too. Like, just like ignoring, they're saying one thing, but your actions do something else. Like I always tell my girls, so growing up, I'm like, I don't care what the boys say. Watch what they do.
It's what they do. Yep.
What they do,
absolutely.
Not what they say. They'll blah, 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 tell you everything. But what are they actually doing? So, and this is the thing. They're sitting there selling you some bullshit. It's like, look, that doesn't play anymore. The media is getting less and less important. They hate Elon Musk because X now has become the media. We're the media. We're doing this right here tonight. We're the media. We're spreading the truth. We're showing.
And that's the thing that kills me. Everybody championed on the left. Everybody championed Elon Musk as being a climate change advocate, making the Tesla car, making it so nice, great for the environment. And then the minute he bought Twitter, it was even before he said he was going to support Trump. The minute he bought Twitter, now he's just the enemy. I'm like, you can't have it both ways.
So, I was just looking at somebody said something in the comment, and it's so funny. It's like, so someone said that about the cameos. Who said about the cameos? Yeah, right there. Yeah, Elon Tron said we grew up with a lot of Trump and camos, and I just kind of came up on my feed right there. Adolf Hitler throughout the years. Hitler, circa 1984, staring menacingly at a black man.
Yes. That was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but Trump was in.
Phone call to the Port for her foreign accent. That was the nanny. Remember?
Yeah, I remember the nanny.
2005 invades the Emmy Awards disguised as a farmer. That was actually a funny bit that he did. Hitler narrowly avoids being eaten by a famous anti-fascist Michael Moore.
Wow.
Hitler tries to convince George Bush to invade Poland, Ohio. Hitler wears a polka dot tie, as fascists tend to do. Hitler in 1989 attends secret society meeting of brutal warriors. This is at the World Wrestling Federation at the time.
Yeah.
2016, Hitler appears in Jimmy Fallon to spread fascist propaganda to the masses. Fallon was executed by firing squad later that year for touching Hitler's hair. 2005, Hitler met with the notorious assassin with ties to Russia and her husband.
Yep.
2004, infamously fascist state media, Saturday Night Live, provided Hitler a platform to spread his hate. 2004, Hitler hosts a series of television shows featuring live firing squads.
Yep.
2007, Hitler conspired with mob hitmen and Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
Data known, Hitler meets with John Kerry. Look at Frankenstein.
That's crazy.
Shit. 2006, Hitler meets with the Black Nazi, Al Sharpton. 88, Hitler meets with others to watch black men bludgeon one another for sport.
Wait, time out. He sponsored Jesse Jackson's presidential run. He funded part of it.
Right. Yep. Gave Chuck Schumer his first check, which he reminded everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, and the only one that's still pro-Trump is this guy right here. Do you remember his name?
Yeah. Oh crap. Crap. He's the boxing promoter.
Don King.
John King. Yeah.
Don King really recently came out in favor of Trump.
Yeah. So listen, I guess I'm gonna have to get out of here soon, but this is one thing I wanted to tell you about all these cameos. You don't see the cameos when he was in movies that were done by like Damon Wayans or Keenan Ivory Wayans, where he did a cameo, at like a red carpet event in New York while the movie was taking place. He's been in a ton of those movies.
Yeah.
And this is back in the 90s when black movies were like the thing.
I remember on Babylon Bee, they put a picture up and they said, apparently his appearance on Home Alone 2 was staged. Remember they said that his
it's a movie
appearance was staged. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna let him waltz into a McDonald's after 2 assassinations attempt and just let anybody roll through there. Of course it was staged, morons. Jeez.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Well, because if you watch that clip, you notice there was only 3 cars that came by.
Yeah. Oscar says, I'm genuinely worried that Democrats see the threat and don't get it. Sarcasm. Yeah, that's because the humor's left the building, man. They don't get it. Don King.
All
right, that's it.
Yeah,
I just want to say thank you, Sean. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it, man. It was really a lot of fun. And the time flew by. Thanks for coming on, man. Love to have you back on. And I'm going to give you the last word before we get out of here.
No, I appreciate you having me on. I wanted to vent a little bit about the black community and this whole political thing, and I thought it was important and talk about some of the other stuff. And I'm going to take a 2-minute break, and then I'm going to jump on Crypto Navigator's channel.
And yeah, Crypto Navigator. Drop the link in there so people can follow you over there. Go ahead and drop the link if you can grab that real quick.
Oh, you will? Okay.
Drop the link in the chat for Crypto Navigator.
I'm on my phone. Oh, yeah, Crypto Navigator's in. Okay, thanks, Alan. Yeah.
Alan, drop the link in there so we can. Did he drop the link? Drop it in there if you're in here, man. If you're not, let's see. Cool show, guys. Appreciate it. XRP.
And shout out to the chat too. I always appreciate you guys because normally I'm one of the guys in the chat. So thank you.
Yeah, really appreciate it, guys. And you know what we're gonna do for you is we're gonna play your favorite outro, which is the long outro. Before you head out to your bio break. Thank you,
sir.
All right, here we go. Ready? Let's go. See you guys in the next one. Chip and Sean out. See you guys.
Take care.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.